everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel XAT, turning problems into solutions. This is me Priyasha and today in this video we'll be discussing some negative tones of RCs. But before that, let me tell you that if you're planning to practice more with me in the live session and ask your questions and doubts, then you can surely join me in my free live classes at Unacademy. I come live every day at 1:30 p.m. So you can check the link in the description box and follow my profile at Unacademy to get notified of all the live classes I take over there. And also, one very important information for all the IIT JEE NEET UG aspirants. If you are not one of them, that's not a problem. Please do not skip this ad because I have a nice solution for you. That means if you know anyone in your acquaintances, either your younger siblings, cousins, or any younger friends who are preparing for the same, then nothing can be a better gift than this education, guys. It's just gonna cost you 239 rupees. The amount which you see on your screen is 299, but if you use the link in the description box and my code Priyasha10, you would be getting all of this at a mere affordable price of 239 rupees. And at this price, your acquaintance for whom you would be gifting this or whom you would be letting know that okay, this is something from Unacademy, that person will get access to 45 days of plus subscription, including the live classes from the top educators, guidance for their CBSE board preparation, 24/7 doubt solving, multiple tests, multiple quizzes, study material, and the best part is the exclusive mentorship provided to each student. All of this just for rupees 239. So you should not actually miss this opportunity, but use my code Priyasha10 and the link in the description box immediately to either gift this to someone whom you know or tell them about this at least so that they can take use of this one-time opportunity. All of this at such a small price to get the world-class education from an academy is like a dream. So please do not miss out on it and quickly enroll using the code Priyasha10 and the link in the description box. And now let's get our video started. Hello everyone. So this is the first video which we are having upon the tones of RCs. So when I start with the tones of RCs, there are three major tones of RCs, starting with the negative tone. Then we have a neutral tone as well, where nothing is very much positively said, nothing is negatively said. That's neutral tone. And the other one is a positive tone. So under positive tone, we have various types of tone. Some tones which are exciting, some which are happy, some which are adoring, some which are praising. And similarly under negative also we have a wide range, and to be honest, under negative we have more number of tones compared to any other pair. So that's why I'm taking up this negative tone section in two videos. This is the first part, and there will be a second part coming up soon where I will be talking about the negative angry tones only. Angriness depicting the anger of the author is very, very commonly seen. That generally the author is either crying about or being very, very skeptical to some few things. So don't worry about being of different words. Okay, like see, someone might come up and say 100 tones of an RC, make a video on that and say 100 tones of RCs. Well, that is possible. Why? Because if you know the meaning of acerbic, and all the synonyms of acerbic will actually mean harsh only, severe only. So if you consider that harsh and severe will also be a tone, then yes, you can get 100 vocab, words or 100 tones in the RCs. But to be generally, I'll be telling you these are some important negative tones, and these are some important terms which you can get in your RCs as to decide the tone. So when you are seeing that the author is constantly talking against a topic, okay, it can be a thing, it can be a person, it can be in government or anything like that, where they are continuously trying to bring out examples of what is not working out correctly and how it is harming us in the various ways. Now, there is a very fine line, okay, fine line between sad and anger. Okay, I will be bringing up the negative tones of the sad or disappointed phase as well. But right now, just focus on this. When the author, I'm going to give you an example right now. So this video is more about listening carefully than about watching the screen. So please do listen carefully. What I was saying is, let me give you an example. Suppose I am the author and I am talking about the cutting down of trees. All right. So if I am writing the passage in a tone that the continuous cutting down of trees is actually leading to the environment changes, okay, that's a neutral phase, and I'm, this gives me a sight of grief looking at my old backyard which was full with mango trees all over but now is a barren land. So this kind of a sentence brings pity, brings sadness, okay, gloominess in the passage, and so that moves into the category of sad when you are actually putting forward things in a sad manner. Like in Hindi we say देखो क्या हो गया, ये हो गया, ये changes हो गए, पहले ऐसा था अब ऐसा है, these kind of sentences. So when you find that the tone is moving in this direction, you would understand that ye galat hai, this is not correct. All right, this is moving to the sad part, not to the angry part. But at the same time, if you see a sentence which is talking about the same cutting of trees only and its effect on the environment, but in a more scornful manner, like they are actually blaming someone, like suppose if they are blaming the builders who are always in search of land and trying to make skyscrapers, so they are scornful, and if they're scornful and they say that in return of skyscrapers we cannot just give away our forest area. Okay, these builders are taking away the land and turning this earth into a miserable place. These kind of sentences are scornful, bitter, acerbic. These are the places where the author moves to the section of anger. He is depicting the same idea of cutting down of trees, but if he is saying it in this manner, that moves to an angry tone. So acerbic here not just means in a good sense but generally in a bad sense, like if someone is belittling someone, a passage from a novel or a passage from a fiction book where we see that one person, one personality is talking just filthy things about the other person, that can also turn out to be an acerbic tone. Fine, so remember that the acerbic tone always talks about the harsh and the severe and the bitter things. Fine. Then we have caustic. They are synonyms. They are synonyms. Fine. Almost synonyms. Acerbic, caustic. The reason I am bringing it up is you might get an option of caustic and you might not know the meaning of the word. So you will get confused. So good to know that acerbic and caustic are almost the same thing. Now, when we talk about belligerent, I'll be talking about aggressive as well. So, aggressive and belligerent are the two terms which have the same meaning. That means something being very, very anger oriented. Okay, like suppose if there's a passage in which the author is continuously getting angry on a particular personality, stating that he did not do this, he did not do that, he was supposed to bring give education. Suppose it's against the government, so the government was supposed to impart education to all the children below this age for free, but this is not happening. There are continuously they are raising money through the taxes but they are not utilizing it anywhere, so you're continuously complaining and you're continuously being angry upon them, so that can be termed into belligerent or aggressive type of tones. Fine, always remember, okay, you will never get a option with two negative tones, like you will not get one option as acerbic and one option as aggressive. Okay, so do not get worried about that, and in the rarest of rare case if it happens, don't worry, take out a very take out the literal meaning of these words. Then how will that work? Acerbic means harsh and bitter. That means you are either intentionally or unintentionally talking filthy things about someone, that might turn into acerbic or caustic. But जब आप किसी पे बहुत गुस्सा हो because of real reasons, not your own personal judgment, then that can go into the category of belligerent or aggressive. But ये सिर्फ एक rarest of rare case है That generally doesn't happens in the exam. Fine. Now we are left with vituperative. So vituperative is also a negative, that too anger oriented, because that shows cruel and angry criticism. तो अगर आप किसी को बहुत बुरी तरह से roast कर रहे हो, you can also say that if in a passage the author is literally roasting the object, then yes, that goes into the vituperative mode. All right, vituperative is just you can say synonym of anger or cruelty. Okay, but that's not very much to be you know thinking about, oh, that's a new word or something. Don't be with that attitude. Okay. Contemptuous. Now comes to contemptuous. Okay, why are you being contemptuous to me? That means you are expressing contempt or disdain. See, you don't like something. This is more personal judgment oriented. Okay, this tone of the author is more or less personal judgment oriented, that you are having contempt against that person, or suppose the author did not like a person because of certain reasons, so he might write things against him, stating that she might be beautiful but she knows nothing, she is fifth fail and she is this and she is that. Okay, things like that. So these things are showing that the author has contempt towards the girl he's talking about. So that's why that is contemptuous type of tone. Then we'll move next to the cynical. Okay, cynical is mostly asked. Okay, so very frequently asked. FA, frequently asked. Why? Because cynical, as the name suggests, are you cynic? Pagal ho kya? So that's the same term here, which displays a belief that people are always self-seeking and never altruistic in their actions. सब पे शक करना, सबको बहुत ही मीन नजर से देखना, that comes under the cynical category. And generally ये cynical काफी frequently asked होता है, where in the passages the author is continuously talking about negative aspects of a human being, negative aspects of a person, especially when it comes to their disbelief. Okay, now see, अभी तक तो हम लोग सब कुछ नेगेटिव में ही बात कर रहे थे, बट स्पेशली जब डिसबिलीफ की बात होती है या मिसट्रस्ट की बात होती है, तब हम लोग सिनिकल की तरफ जाते हैं, क्योंकि द पर्सन हु डज नॉट ट्रस्ट ऑन द ह्यूमन बीइंग्स बीइंग अ गुड friendly creature are the ones who are termed as cynical. Fine. So the tone of the passage will go cynical if the author will be stating further the points like, no one helps anyone in this world, we are born alone, we will be dying alone, and things like that. So इस तरह के passages को हम लोग cynical term कर देते हैं. That's very simple and easy to remember. Anything related to disbelief. Now, derivasive. Derivasive is being unkind and displaying content, just like contemptuous. Okay, again, derivasive is also a personal judgment related thing, that if you are feeling that someone is not good at something just because you had a very bitter experience with him or her in the past, then you will start speaking all bad things about him or her, and that will turn the passage to a derivasive tone. Fine. So whenever you find the author talking about, let's say the author is a particular character and he is talking about the second character who is doing bad things, so that can turn into derivasive. Fine. Then we have disparaging. Disparaging is belittling. किसी का मजाक उड़ाना is disparaging. So if mockery, see, mockery is taken in a still a positive sense, but disparaging is जानबूझकर किसी को hurt करने के लिए किसका मजाक उड़ाना. So if you are doing that, if the author is doing that in the passage and you realize that the author is actually making fun of someone, intentionally trying to hurt him or her, then that goes into disparaging. Okay, you can say mockery with bad intentions. These are few lines which will differentiate between two tones. Okay, now the next tone we see is vitriolic. Vitriolic is full of anger. Okay, so if you find the author being fully super angry upon something, then completely using very very harsh words, that how can he be such a fool that he did these activities that led to so much of loss in the business, a fool like him can drown the entire business. Sentences like this will show that the anger is super high, and that super high anger is vitriolic tone of the passage. Fine. Another very frequently asked one is right there on your screen, that's dogmatic. Okay. So what happens in the case of dogmatic? In the case of dogmatic, we assert our opinions in a very arrogant manner. Okay, a dictatorship kind of feeling will come from the sentences. So if you are trying to say that I believe that everyone should, stop working and doing things like that. Everyone should wear this particular cloth. Every girl should do this. And no one should come out after 7 p.m. from their home. Things like that, which sounds a little bit, compulsive, forceful, or you can say dictatorial in nature, asserting your opinions, as I told, in a very arrogant manner, comes out to be dogmatic. So the best definition you can have for dogmatic is dictatorial. Okay, that's the best thing you can remember about it. And then we have the last one, which is euphemistic. So if you guys have seen my shorts related to the verbal ability, I was talking about euphemism. Okay, and what is euphemism basically? So see, this is a substitution of a mild and an indirect or a vague expression for a very offensive, harsh and blunt one. The reason I've kept it at the end is because I know that euphemism is not a negative one. Euphemistic tone is not a negative tone, but the reason for having it over here is because it is giving the negative idea in a mild manner. For example, we never say that, oh, he died. No, when we say he died, it looks so harsh, right? So in a better way to represent the same sentence, we say he passed away. Correct? So that is euphemism, where you're trying to make the harsh comments a little milder. And if you remember my example, which I gave in my short, that if you want to say someone a liar, instead of calling him or her a liar, you can call that, please stop being diplomatic with the truth or economical with the truth. So this is something which is depicting the same idea in a mild manner. So if somewhere in the passage you find that the author is completely against something, but at the same time using the word play to make the anger a little milder, okay, scorn a little milder, then that will turn into a euphemistic tone. All right, so much of discussions on the angry tones, but yet I have more angry tones to be discussed. So if you like this video, then please like this video, share it with more and more people, and please wait for the upcoming part where I'll be coming up with more negative angry tones only, and then multiple tones on the way as well. Try to understand the meaning and the differences between the tone, because on the internet you might get a long list of words, but you might not get a difference between two tones. So I am trying to bring out the difference between the tones and hope it helps you in your preparation. And that was all about this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching it. Until I come up with the next video, please take care of yourself.